All right, guys, today is our first lesson of Rome. We are officially in Rome now, and we are going to start with geography like we always do. Our learning target is that we can describe the opportunities and challenges of the geography of Rome. So, as we should know by now, lots of these places that we have studied, all of the places we've studied, has geography that presents both challenges of living there and opportunities for the people. So we are going to discuss just in Rome about how their geography gives them opportunities and how it presents challenges or hurts them. So let's go to our first slide. Let me see if I can make those work. All right, so how did Rome start? Well, people crossed these mountains in the background you see back there. Those are the Alps. They crossed over the Alps somewhere between 1500 to 1000 BC. When they crossed over here, they realized that they had some good farmland over here, and this might be a great place to settle. These people were included the Latins, which are known as the Romans today. They are the ones that contributed the Latin language to us, and the Latin language is the basis, some of the basis, not all. We know that Greece is some of the basis too, but basis for our language. Latin has big influence on our language. So these people are the ones that contributed a lot of words to us that we use as the foundation for the English language today. They think that the Romans tended herds and grew crops on Rome's hills. They had lots of hills and mountains, as we talked about. We're going to talk about that in a second. But they could grow crops very easily there. Around 800 to 700 BC, they realized that it would be a lot safer if they banded together. So they started forming villages and finally ended up becoming towns, and that big town of Rome is founded. That's when they grew into Rome. So, like we said yesterday when we were doing our map, um, Rome has a lot of mountains. Italy is a peninsula that is located in the Mediterranean Sea. You know, it's surrounded on one side by the Tyrrhenian Sea and on the other side by the Adriatic Sea. We're going to talk about the water in a second. Right now, we're going to talk about these mountains. It has two sets of mountains you need to know. Across the top are the Alps, and those are very hard to cross. Those are high, tall mountains. Good for skiing, apparently. I don't do it. But if you go to like Switzerland, a lot of people go to Switzerland to ski in the Alps on the Swiss side of the Alps. The mountains go right across the top. It keeps Italy very well separated from the rest of Europe. The middle in the middle of Italy are the mountains, the Apennine mountains. They run from north to south. These are much shorter, smaller mountains, kind of like really almost like tall hills. People farm on them. Some of them have flat tops and they can be farmed on. There are resorts on the top of some of these. These are much more easily crossed than the Alps. Because they're so easily crossed, unlike Greece, which had mountains all in it too, but those were a lot taller. Because they're so easy to be crossed, those people were able to grow together into a one community, which was much more unified than in Greece. In Greece, remember, they developed into these separate city-states, which were, because they were so isolated, they grew so differently from each other, even though they did share like the same religious beliefs and the same language. They were really different from each other, and we've known that by really focusing on Athens and Sparta, how different they could be. It's not like that in Rome. And let's take a little look-see. We can get this to work so you can kind of see how these mountains look. So here are the Alps. As you can see, here's Italy. Let me zoom out for a second. There's Italy. Okay, Mediterranean Sea, there's Italy. These are all the Alps. So you have the French Alps and the Swiss Alps, and they're just all over the place. So these Alps touch many countries, but let's zoom in and like really focus on some of these Alps. Let's see if I can get in here. Let's see. Where do I want to go? Let's try right here. All of these, by the way, are names of the mountain peaks. How pretty that water is. And so I'm having a little internet issue, so hopefully I can get it can load. If not, I have to do this sometimes. I have to zoom out and then pick up my little guy and click it and zoom it back in. See if it works. I really want to look at, oh, look at that. Look how pretty that is. Look at the water. And of course, it's not zooming. I want to look more at this. It's so pretty. But you can kind of see how tall these mountains are. It's just I'm having problems with Google today. It's just not working very well. It's such a bummer because it's so pretty. Let's try this one. There's another one here. Try that one too in a second. Oh, this one works. The water doesn't look as pretty in this one, I guess, because they're taking it a different time of day. But anyway, look how tall some of these mountain peaks are. Kind of see it. This one's not as great of a picture. But look at it's pretty. Let's try one more. Let's try, oh, is that out in the water? See, I could play with Google Earth all day. It's kind of like a vacation for free, right? So anyway, look how tall, look at that. So the clouds here are actually covering the mountains in this picture. Look how pretty that water is though. Oh my goodness. Who wants to go on vacation? I do. Let's try again. Let's see. Let me move my face. I might have to. Oh, let's see. Let's try this one. See, I'll just play with this all day. I'll keep clicking on these little circles until I find a good picture that I like. Oh, now that one's it. Look at that. And of course, look at how blue that water is. Oh my goodness. See, I have too much fun with this. I love looking at Google Earth. Look how pretty. But as you can see, some of these are pretty tall. Now this is even the greatest picture. Let's move out to a different area. Bye, pretty water. Let's see if I can get a picture of the mountains. Let's see if I can zoom to it. Let's try like here. This might be just where I was at a second ago. Well, maybe not. We'll see. Okay, here's another picture. Look how tall those are. You can see they go back here. Tall mountains. Okay, let's pick another spot. Let's see. This is even on top of a peak right here. And as you can see, it gets a lot higher. Of course, not working. That's a bummer. Let's see. Try this one. Oh, this looks like a little vacation spot. Look at those. Look at those. That's nice. Look at that pretty picture with the sun over the mountain. So nice. And look at the green. I don't know where they're at, but that guy has no body. It's just feet. Okay. Kind of looks like it could be the Sound of Music. Look at that. So pretty. So those are the Alps. As you can see, much taller than the other mountains we're going to look at in a second. Let me zoom out a little bit. I think this is in the Alps. Yeah. So if you've ever been to Disney, I think they have a ride called the Matterhorn. It's named after this mountain right here. Pretty famous mountain in the Alps. Let's see if I can. Let's drop it here and see if I can see it. Look how tall that is. Will it work? That's the question is, will it work? I don't know what that little place is. Wow, it's just like a little stone Maybe a restaurant or something. I don't know. Let's move it into view the Matterhorn. Very tall. Look, clouds. It's like this isn't. It looks like it might not be that tall, but I'm telling you, up here you're already high in the Alps. That's why the clouds are like covering the mountain peak. Let's see if I click here. Can we get it again? Maybe. See, you're up so high. Look at that. Those are all high, tall mountains. So anyway, the Matterhorn right here, a very famous mountain in the Alps. There you go. Okay. That's enough of viewing. I could view it all day, but I'm going to waste my time. So let's go to the Apennines. Here we go. Bye, Alps. Hello, Apennines. All right, so this is Italy again. Here are the mountains running through Italy, north to south, going up this way. So I'm going to zoom into the Apennines here. Let's see if I can find a place to drop my man. Let's try here, a little dot there. See if we can see the difference in the mountains. Oh, that's an interesting cross. All right, so here are the mountains, the Alps. As you can, or not Alps, I'm sorry, the Apennines. As you can see, these mountains are a lot more low-lying. That's why they don't have snow on the top. They're covered with vegetation. Obviously, somebody comes up here and takes pictures. I don't know what this cross is for. But these mountains are a lot easier to cross. Let's see if I can find a different place to zoom us down to. Let's try that one. As you can see, these mountains just look a lot different. You can see the farms on top of all of the hills. And somebody's house is on top of this one. Or I don't know if it's a house or it's a village. Or I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's very pretty. These are hard to see though because you're surrounded by trees and buildings, but you can see the mountains in the background. Let's try this again. Try a different place. Let's try here. Oh, this one looks like it's actually on top of another person with feet and no body. Weird. So I guess I can keep clicking all day. But as you can see, the Apennines are much different than the Alps. People are up here moving around. There's vegetation. There's, if I scroll in, you can see farmland on top of these mountains. These are not the mountains of the Alps. So just gives you a quick idea of how these are different. So I'm going to go ahead and move back to this. Let's see if I can do this again. I don't know. It keeps losing my face when I do this. So I don't know. We're just going to finish this up. All right, Rome's geography. So the easily crossable mountains helped people in early Italy trade ideas and goods with each other. So they were able to trade, come together, share ideas. And again, that helped with things like farming, community building, getting them to become one main group. Italy had a much better farmland than Greece. It had a mild climate. It had really good soil. So they didn't have the trouble that Greece did with finding places to farm. Many of the lower mountains, like I showed you, had flat tops that made really good farms. And you could see in that picture all the farmland that's on top of those Apennine mountains. So they really did not have to worry about running out of farmland the way that Greece did. Since they were able to produce more food, Italy was able to have more people than Greece. So they didn't have to send out colonies the way that Greece did. However, because Greece sent out colonies and a lot of them ended up in Italy, they had a big influence of Greece. A lot of Greek culture actually transferred into Italy, and we're going to talk about all of that later. But they had a lot of their architecture and a lot of their religious beliefs and everything that kind of came from Greece. So let's boil it down. What are the opportunities and challenges of the geography of Rome? Well, geography played an important role in the rise of Roman civilization. One of the things that helped Rome settle where it was is the fact that it was close enough to the sea to do a great amount of trading, food, and all of that. It wasn't right up next to the water, though. It was, as you can see in this picture, it was kind of set back a little bit, but close enough that it could get to it. This helped Rome in the fact that it was far enough from the sea to escape the pirate raids that happened all the time. Remember, I told you pirates are real. Pirates are a real thing. So they were able to sit back close enough so they weren't raided and stolen from enough. But they were close enough that they could get to that source of water as a way for travel and trade. And I showed you yesterday when we did the map, they were so close to all of the rest of the Mediterranean world. They could trade with Greece, with Egypt, and with Persia, and later on Macedonia, and all of those places were hooked up to the Silk Road, which hooked them up with India and China. So it was great. It was a great location for the people in Rome. It also had a river source, which was great. Greece did not have a river source. Rome did. It was the Tiber River, and it became a stopping place for trade. So as you can see, the river kind of hooks up with the water here, and they can get onto the river and get up into Rome that way too. And there it is. In order to help protect Rome, they built their city on 7 hills, and that made it hard for enemies to attack. So let's just look at that really quick. I did have it pulled up, but my whole thing had to be shut down. So let's see if I can pull it back up again. I think it's actually, let's look at this. So here are the 7 hills of Rome, which makes up Rome. So these are still here. They still have these names: Capitoline Hill, Palatine Hill, Aventine Hill, Caelan Hill, Esquiline Hill, Viminal Hill, and Quirinal Hill. And if I go back to this, I think we can probably pull up what are the 7 hills of Rome. I think this has got the pictures in it. Maybe not. I had one pulled up. See, and it's I'm having technology issues today. I know, it's shocking, right? This is it. Okay, so this is a view from one of the 7 hills of Rome. This is Capitoline Hill. As you can see, it's a little bit higher than the rest of Rome. They're not huge hills. Again, here's another picture of those 7 hills. They're not huge like mountain hills, but they are high enough where they would have a very good view of anybody that was coming into the city. This is Palatine Hill right here in this picture. Here's another view of Capitoline Hill. Aventine Hill here. Caelan Hill here. Esquiline Hill, as you can see, it's up, and this would be a walk up this hill right here. I know it's kind of hard to see, but these are the hills that Rome was founded on. And again, it was mostly for protection, which would give them more protection than just the mountains. Okay. That is it. This video right here, Rome's geography, is going to be, and I know it's one of your favorites, it's going to be linked in Google Classroom, and please watch that because it will give you more information on like crops they grew and some awesome pictures of just their different geography. There'll be some notes that will be linked in Google Classroom as well. And your work today is to, let me double get it open. You're going to be doing the compare and contrast Greece and Rome, and it is the geography. It's not, you don't know much about Rome yet. You can't compare anything else right now, but you can compare the geography. So let me pull it up. And you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. And I talked a lot about the differences between Rome and Greece in this video, so that should really help you out too. So right here, you are going to compare and contrast Rome and Greece. You must list 3 similarities and 3 differences as far as their geography. How were they very alike and how were they different? See what you come up with and fill in this chart. And that's it. All right. Have a great day. Make good choices, and I will see you later.